Today on Judge Faith, an older sister brings her baby brother to court after he totals her car drag racing on the streets of Rochester, New York.
He began to get involved with gangs and run the streets, skip school, everything, and he would bring that vibe inside our house.
My son was just the youngest, and he just doesn't want to listen. I love him, but he just ends up doing wrong things like loving to race in cars.
They said he almost hit a little kid.
I deal with a lot of 16-year-olds. This is the moment where you start telling the truth. Now, why are you making these choices?
And later, a friend of the court offers options for a more positive future.
True character is who you are when nobody else is around.
This is your family. All those other people that you run around with, when you get in trouble, I'm gonna tell you something, they're not gonna be there for you.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Modesty Scott Bridges says her younger brother took her car and totaled it in a drag racing accident. She's suing for the value of a car and related expenses. Defendant Messiah Scott says he doesn't know because his sister gave him permission to use her car, and another driver caused the accident. They're accompanied in court today by their mother, Sheila Singletary.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Scott Bridges versus Scott.
Thank you, Juan. Modesty Scott Bridges?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Messiah Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,650.
Yes, Your Honor.
The value of a car?
Yes.
You say he damaged and the tow yard fee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so how are you related to Mr. Scott?
Well, Messiah, he's the youngest of 8 of my siblings.
Okay.
And, growing up, we had a pretty good relationship with each other. But as he began to get older...
Well, how old are you?
16.
16.
Yeah, so as he began to reach of that age, he began to change. He began to get involved with gangs, and he began to start smoke weed, run the streets, skip school, everything. And he would bring that vibe inside our house.
How old was he when you say he started this?
I say it probably was about 2 years ago, so about 14.
Okay.
He started to change. So that put a strain on our relationship.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Are you in a gang?
No, Your Honor.
You were just affiliated with people in gangs? What is she talking about?
I was around people who was in gangs. It was just my friends. It was just people I just be around. And
what gang do you say he was in?
Shoot, he be crawling all these things. I can't keep track. I don't know.
Okay. So are you in school?
Well, I was going to go to Job Corps.
When did you drop out of school?
Last year.
Last year?
Yes.
What did your mother think about that?
Well, I was getting jumped to things like that,
you were getting jumped?
Yeah, altercations and stuff like that. Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
Well, sometimes it was over jealousy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But either than that, I was good.
Were you going to school? Were you getting good grades?
Yeah, I was going to school, yes. Mm-hmm. And I was trying, but it was just too much.
You are Miss Singletary? You're his mother?
Yes.
You want to stand up? What do you want to say?
Okay. What I wanted to say is I love both of my kids. This is my youngest out of 8, like she said. He didn't just drop out of school. Okay. He was continuously getting jumped because staying involved with the wrong people. Mm-hmm. The same kids he was brought up with end up being in gangs, and he still associate with them. So I told him, you being in a gang, or if you are, it's going to look like you're in a gang, okay?
So he left school, but you're in Rochester. There are other options to go to other high schools.
Yeah, he got kicked out of school, and so when I put in a voluntary transfer for him to go to other school, because he skipped so many times.
He got kicked out for what reason?
Well, he was getting jumped, skipping school.
But you don't get kicked out of school if you're the one getting jumped.
He was fighting too. Mm-hmm. It's just not getting jumped, he was fighting, period.
Okay.
And then that school anyways, even if you basically fight back, it's like zero tolerance. You're going to get kicked out. He ended up going to a school where, for 15 days, and then when he went back to Franklin on the same day, the security guys picked up the same gangs was plotting to jump him again. And then that's when I put in the voluntary transfer for him to go to other schools, and they didn't want to accept him because he skipped it so many times that he wasn't a good student.
Why were you skipping so much?
Good.
Sometimes the reason I was skipping, sometimes I just be hanging out with friends and stuff like that. But I really didn't, like, school is not for everybody. I really didn't like going to school, you know.
And you can make that decision when you're 15 years old, that it's not for you?
No, but I just...
Because, you know, you're making a decision that impacts the rest of your life. And that's generally why you have parents or people who love you to provide you with guidance and insight. And I don't think anyone who cared about you would say, at 15 years old, school's not for everyone, you should leave. That's a decision that a 15-year-old makes when they don't know any better.
And I most definitely make it clear that education is very important for him.
What do you do?
She's an LPN.
I'm a nurse.
Okay.
LPN.
So what's happening here? So your brother likes to drag race? He started drag racing?
Because I guess he got too comfortable with me letting him drive me around. Like, I would only let him drive around long as I was in a car because I don't really like to drive that much. So I guess he got too comfortable. And then on May 18th of this year, it was my first graduation, sixth grade, because, yes, I also had some difficulties. I had my son when I was 17. So this was my first graduation, sixth grade. I trusted him to go pick my son up from daycare, him and his friend who has his license. So I asked them, it's like around 7 minutes from where I was getting my makeup done. So that gives me enough time. By the time my makeup is finished, I could step out and he's right there and then we could just go. So I get outside, I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm calling his phone, it's going to voicemail. And then my friend, he writes me like, he kept writing me, but I was ignoring it because I was so worried about like, where is my brother? So he finally wrote me again, like, I seen your car in Plymouth, and that's how I'm just instantly knew, like, he had my car. I instantly knew. I called him, he like, yeah, your brother's in the back of the police car. Your car is about to get towed. Hurry up and get up there. So I called my mom and my sister. We go up there. I see him in the back of the police car, like, the police told us, like, he was going 80 miles per hour down Plymouth, which is, like, you can only go 20 miles per hour. That's the speed limit. Okay. They said he almost hit a little kid. Almost hit a little kid. And then I was an hour late for my graduation.
And what happened? You had an accident and you totaled the car?
That was a whole different incident, because that same day of my graduation, I tried to put him in jail. I sure did. I asked them to take him to jail, and you could tell he knew he was wrong because he had his head down the whole time when me and my mom was talking to him. He couldn't even look us in his eyes. The day I put him in jail, my mom called and they said they let him out that same day, and he never came home for days. That's how you know you was wrong for doing that.
Let me see the photos of the car, by the way. I want to see how bad the accident was. That's unfortunate, and it's actually pretty remarkable that no one's been hurt since you've been doing this.
And then, like, he in the back of the police car, and I'm asking him, like, why would you do this?
Why were you doing that?
I was rushing for her. She wanted me to go pick her baby up from daycare.
Okay, Messiah. I deal with a lot of 16-year-olds, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the moment where you start telling the truth, because I don't believe that.
Right.
So, now, why are you making these choices? Why are you doing this?
It was just... for the fun of it. It was just exciting to me. But the same day that I had got arrested for going 80 miles per hour down Plymouth, is she wanted me to go pick her son up from daycare, just rushing me like...
Well, what's fun about that for you? Just the risk of it all?
No, it's just the adrenaline.
You don't have anything else to do?
Coming up, social media posts reveal the rest of the story.
He had videos on Facebook racing, asking people, I got $100 who want to race.
Hi, I'm Judge Faith. Follow me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Plaintiff Modesty Scott Bridges says Messiah's obsessed with drag racing. She's suing for the value of a car and related expenses. Defendant Messiah Scott says he doesn't owe because another driver caused the accident. They're accompanied in court today by their mother, Sheila Singletary.
Then we felt that he should have been put in jail to be taught a lesson. So we finished going to her graduation. And so my niece ended up calling me and saying that he was on Facebook or something.
Yep, I have things.
And come to find out, they only gave him a parent's ticket.
Yeah, and my cousin, she called me that next day and said he had videos on Facebook racing. Yep, he had videos on Facebook racing.
Let me see the Facebook posts.
I have posts right here where he's asking people, do you want to race? I got $100. Who want to race? I'm the fast and I'm the furious. All these type of things. Yeah, yes.
Can we race down the whole Arnett for $100 for the winner?
Yep.
Whoever that was in a black Suburban truck that tried to race me, better luck next time, LMAO. Nobody F with me in this car. We fast and the furious.
Yep, that's crazy. I even found a video of him racing on Facebook. He was racing in my sister's car this time.
Let me see the video.
If you heard in the background,
who's a baby car? That's a baby car seat in the back?
That's my sister's son's car seat. If you heard in the background,
who's recording that on Snapchat?
His friend.
My friend.
Like I said, my son was just the youngest, and he just doesn't want to listen. And I love him, but he just ends up doing wrong things, like loving to race in cars. And that's something I'm totally against, because that's how I lost my mother. You know, she wasn't the one racing, but it was someone else that was racing.
So your mother was killed in a car accident?
Yeah, I let him read the article.
The same exact street that he got my car, in the impound.
Drag races?
Yes, the same exact street that my grandmother died. That's where he was going 80 miles per hour down that same street on my graduation day.
And that's where my mother got killed, on that street, and it's on front news paper.
I have the article actually right here of my grandmother, where she
And
had...
you know this, Messiah?
Yeah,
Yes, my mom installed that into us so
and she
much
was
many
31
times.
with 9 kids when that happened.
Wow.
And he still constantly continues to race.
2 killed in fiery crash into the bridge. 2 persons were killed, 3 injured early today in a fiery crash in what police say were 2 drag racing cars. Mrs. Barbara Scott, which is your mother, and Bobby Ray Watson.
That was the driver.
You're obviously willing to risk it all at this point, right? Clearly, not only your life, but other people's lives. The little kid you almost hit, did you see the child? The police didn't lie. They said you almost hit a child.
Right.
And that's what happens when you drag race in neighborhoods. You don't just put your life on the line. There are all these other people's lives on the line, including your grandmother who died. Because someone else made the same decision that you did to drag race.
Exactly.
What is the logic of all of this? Because you think it's fun, because you think it's a thrill, you got to find something else to do for fun. You have a mother who loves you. You have brothers and sisters, and I know you all don't get along all the time, but this is your family, okay?
Yes.
Your siblings, from cradle to grave, they're your best friends. They're all you have.
Right, and he knows.
All those other people that you run around with, when you get in trouble, I'm going to tell you something. They're not going to be there for you.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a life lesson is offered in court.
So if you want to win at life, you have to practice winning. Right now, you're practicing failure.
Plaintiff Modesty Scott Bridges says she's worried Messiah is heading down the wrong life path. She's suing for the value of a car and related expenses. Defendant Messiah Scott says he doesn't owe because he was helping his sister out when the accident occurred. They're accompanied in court today by their mother, Sheila Singletary.
I'm looking at you standing in front of me now. I see a lot of hardened teenagers, and I know everything I'm saying to them, in one ear, out the other. They've already made a choice. You're not a lost cause. You have potential. But what are you going to do with it? Because right now, you don't care. Seems like you're risking your entire life, and you're willing to lose it over $100, over nothing. Where's your father?
My father is in New York.
Is he in your life? No, he's not. Do you have a male role model in your life? Somebody that you talk to, that you look up to, that you have a real relationship with?
Sometimes I talk to my brother sometimes, but it's just, I'd rather talk to my father, but it's...
But that's not happening?
No.
I asked my friend, Johnny Wimbrey, to come today and have a few words with you. He's a life coach and motivational speaker. He's author of the best-selling book, From Hood to Doing Good. And he's an amazing person. He's very busy. He just got back from Fiji. He travels all over the world. And he took out time from his busy schedule to be here today for you, Messiah Scott.
That's a blessing.
Thank you, Judge Faith. Always an honor and a pleasure to be in your courtroom. I'm listening to the story backstage, and I've done a little research on the story, and the truth is, you didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get out overnight. This is a situation that has been brewing in the family, and there's a backstory to it. And I'm willing to work with that backstory if you're open. But I want you to understand something, Messiah. Do you understand the meaning of your name?
Yes.
Your name means Savior. Your name means you're the anointed one. You're the one that people look to find relief and redemption. And you're portraying the opposite, where you have people who are flocking to save you. You're 16 today.
Yes.
You dropped out of school at 15.
Yes.
I want you to drop back into school. You said it's hard.
Yes.
If it's hard at 15, if life is hard at 16, do you think it's going to be easier at 17?
No.
So you're going to continue to practice quitting and giving up? That becomes a habit, and it becomes your nature, which ultimately becomes your character. And true character is who you are when nobody else is around. Do you want to win?
Yes.
In life?
Yes.
Say it.
I do. I want to win in life.
You want to win at life?
Yes.
So if you want to win at life, you have to practice winning. Right now, you're practicing failure. And whether you understand this or not, it's building your character. I'm looking at you, man. Nice-looking kid. Mm-hmm. You would not look good in a coffin. You don't look good out of school. You don't look good in handcuffs, bro. I got a brother serving 40 years right now in prison, and I'm not any better than him. I just didn't get caught. And I want you to understand something. At 15, 16 years old, I stole my teacher's car. She gave me the keys to her car to go get an apple. I stole it, and I went driving and acting crazy. So I'm not looking down at you as if I don't understand. I'm looking at you, man, saying, listen, you need to wake up, bro. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What's going on in your life 5 years from today?
I'm going to try to get back into school.
Okay, don't say the word try. You're not a try, baby.
I'm going to.
You're going to.
Yes.
You didn't try to go 80 miles per hour, you did. My goal is that she invites you back next time to be an expert witness for somebody else. That would be my goal. Make her proud. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Do you know that people get paid to do what you do? You like drag racing? You know that people actually make a living off of doing that? There's another way to do it besides doing it in your neighborhood on the streets?
Yes.
Go home and look that up if that's what you're interested in doing. There's a legal way for you to do it. All right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to rule on the legal issues in the case, and that is the fact that your car was totaled in the accident. And do you have a job? Okay, you're going to have to get one. You say you're going back to Job Corps. You're going to have to work in addition to that because you're going to have to pay your sister for the car. I'm going to enter a judgment in your favor, ma'am, for the amount that you've asked for, $2,650, in order you to pay that. And I'm going to follow up with you and see how things are going, because if things are going well and you are doing well, I will call you next year. And I want you to be the person that comes here to talk to some other young man. So I'm going to hold you accountable. You say your actions are going to prove that. I'm going to follow up. And if your actions are proving that, I'll see you next year.
Okay.
All right? Good luck to all of you.
It's very unfortunate that we had to come to these extreme measures for him to understand that you can't do stuff in life like that.
Well, I wanted to say that I'm sorry and I love her. And I'm going to change and I'll show her, and I'm going to try to build my trust back with her.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.